Welcome everyone. In this video you will learn about a new platform called TED-Ed. If you are familiar with TED Talks, you know that there's someone with a passion or an expertise in a certain area and they give a 10 to 15 minute talk to an audience, and anybody who's there can listen, or if you're not able to attend the event, now you can go on the internet and view those talks. In the past you couldn't do that. So this, when they started in the 80s, it wasn't as easy to hear the talks, but now because of the internet we can definitely get to those talks. So expanding on that idea, something was created called TED-Ed, and TED-Ed allows anyone to create a lesson around a specific topic, and it allows you to share that lesson. So the topics come from certain videos, and you can get the video from a TED-Ed original, from a TED Talk, or from a YouTube video. Now I'm logged into TED-Ed, so you do need to have an account in order to create lessons, but you can always search the videos and take a look at them without having an account. So to get started, you want to go to ed.ted.com, and it'll bring you to this page. And again, if you have an account, you'll log in, so you'll see that I'm logged in right now. And when you're logged in, you'll see your name up here. But the first few things you might want to do is to look at some lessons, things that have been created that you might want to flip. When you look at the videos, you'll notice that some of them just say views and some of them say flips and views. Views are just videos that people have watched, and then flips are things that people have watched and then they decided to use that in a particular lesson and they made it their own. And so that's the concept of flip that you'll hear on or see on this website. So anything that where you see flips, you'll know that that number of people flipped that particular video. And the next thing you might want to do is take a look at series. And in the series you can pick different things that you might be interested in. So if I selected inventions that shape history, then there's some videos here that you might want to take a look at. And again, you can see who's flipped these videos and how many times they've been viewed. And usually the number of times something has been viewed is an indication of how powerful or how popular it might be. Now when you watch it, it may not fit exactly what you want, but it gives you some indication of that. So, but just because there's not a lot of views, I wouldn't let that stop you from viewing something. And then another place to begin with is the FAQ. Now you can search all of these, but I just wanted to highlight just a few that you might go to get started. So if you do create an account and you want to create your lesson, one place to go to is the what are the criteria for best flips. And when you select this, these paragraphs give you some information about each section. So it gives you a little bit of background so you'll know what to think about as you create those sections. But as you go through the lesson, it'll become fairly easy as what it is you want to do. So we'll go back. So we're back to the main page, and just to show you what a lesson looks like once it's created, I'll select something that affects me, which is motion sickness. So this short video talks about the idea of motion sickness, and I learned that science doesn't really have particular answers as to why and how to stop it. They have sort of notions of what you can do, but no conclusive ideas yet. But it was interesting to watch the video and learn that way. So the think part, you notice that when you hover over this, it tells you how many multiple choice questions there are, and it tells you how many open-ended in that section. So we'll see that when we build a lesson. Dig deeper, and this just tells you that learn more. Then there's a discuss part that could have open-ended as well as guided discussions. And if you wanted to, you could start by flipping this lesson. That's what flip this lesson is about, is you flip it. Now below the videos you can see information about the creators of the actual video. Now once you do have your account, you log in, and by now whatever topic you might be thinking about teaching, you should get some other materials that you want to use, and you can use those in the dig deeper section. You may also want to have located your video, especially if you already know where it is on a TED Talk or on a TED Original or on YouTube. If you already know where that is, you just want to know the title of it so you can find it easily. But the first thing you'll do is select create a lesson, and then here you'll type in, like I want to do the achievement gap. I want to do something with the achievement gap, so I'll type that, and then here comes some videos about the achievement gap. Now I already know that I want to select this video, so I'll do this second step, which is select. And now the third step is to flip it. And the flip part is where you add your flavor to it, where you make this a learning experience unique to what you want to share or what you think is important. So then I go to this button that says flip this video, select it, and notice that here's the title of the video, and then this let's begin part, you want to type something here to get the learner motivated about whatever that topic is, and you will have to type something here before you can finalize the process. And now the watch part is already done because you selected your video. So that's the first thing the learner does is watch the video. They read this little section, they watch your video. Next you go to think. And once you go to think, you get to create questions. So you can have both multiple choice and open answer questions. You select this. And my question might be, what is a cause of the achievement gap? And then I can put a little time thing here if I want. But I'll go to next, and then you have to give a minimum of 2 answers. So I'll put I'll make that the correct answer, and then I'll just do 2 answers here just for time's sake. But you can go up to letter E with your responses. So now that I have some choices, I gave my correct answer, I'll go to next, and it lets me review the question to make sure it's an appropriate question and spelling and it sounds right and all that good stuff. So you'll be able to edit your question if you need to do so. Once you're satisfied, you just select save, and then you'll keep creating questions, you'll just go to create your own question, and that'll take you to another option to do either multiple choice or open answer, and you do that until you have all the questions you think you want to have after the video, which is a good thing. So you watch this video and then you have these questions directly related to the video that point to the learning objective that you have in mind. Then you select dig deeper. Now in the dig deeper section is where you have other ancillary resources that the learner could go to and get a broader understanding of the topic. Now this could be links. So when I select this link, and because this is a link, this could be a link to an audio file, it could be a link to a video file, it could be a link to an article, it could be a link to a website, like a government website that has credible information. And that's the critical thing here too, is that because you are the one creating it, you have to make the decision about the content. So your expertise comes in that way, because you're saying that these are credible resources. And then you put the URL here. I suggest that you copy and paste so you don't have any misspellings. And then you type some text here, and this will be the link text, and that's what will appear instead of the actual URL. And that text should be relevant to the content that the learner would find when they select that URL. And then you will click insert, and it will put the link there. You can also add images, which might be something powerful depending on what you're doing, because you may want the learner to study an image and to see something about the image. And so images can be powerful in that way. And you can just upload here. You can also link to an image as well. Once you've done that, now you go to the discuss section, and there could be old discussions that were created, but there were none on this one. So you can add a new discussion, and you can integrate the old discussions as well if you wanted to. So then you have to give it a title, and then you want to give it an explanation, although that's optional. And then you would select add this discussion. And once you've done that, you want to go to the next section, which is and finally. And then this just summarizes, this is the conclusion part of your lesson. This brings it all home. And whatever content you need to put here, again, you can do images, you can do links, you can just type text, you can copy and paste text, whatever you might need to do for this section. And once you've done all of that, the next thing you would do is go to finish flip. Now that my flip is finished, this tells me that my lesson is listed, and I may not want it listed right now, so I can change that once I'm finished here. So what I'll do, I'll close this and show you. Now I've done this twice, so this is the older one. So if I select this, you notice that I can delete this lesson, so I'll go ahead and delete it. Just wanted to be able to show you that. And then we'll go back here, and you can choose, this is how you can change it from listed to unlisted. And of course, if it's unlisted, people can't find it. If it is listed, then people can find your lesson in the TED community. You can choose to allow flips of your lesson, so you can flip your lesson and somebody can flip your flip. So you would just select yes, and you can nominate yourself as the best flip as well. So we'll just leave this unlisted for now. And then of course you can send this through these platforms to whoever you might want to get it to, but you can also email it. So you can just type an address here or paste it, or you can have a list that you have comma separated, and then you select send and it sends the lesson off. And that's it for creating your lesson. Now, one thing that people complain about, or I've seen someone say about this, is the assessment part of it. And one thing that you want to do, that you might want to do, is to integrate Google Docs with this, because in Google Docs you can create your own separate form that allows you to do further assessment. So if 15 questions isn't quite enough for you and you want to do something different at the end, you can go create a Google Doc and create a form there, and that, of course, that allows you to do multiple choice. It allows you to do short answer. It allows you to do any kind of questions you really need to do, and those choices are there. And if you want to learn how to do that, you can easily just go to Google and it'll show you how to create a form. And the new features of the forms are very good in Google because it gives you specific analytics that might be useful for you for various questions that people are answering. So that's the TED Ed platform, and again, you may want to integrate it with a Google Doc so you can do a summary if you create a lesson. And this is pretty easy and it's exciting because it really does allow anyone to create a lesson using a plethora of content. Good luck.